Welcome to Not That Parenting Podcast, the show for people trying their best, getting it wrong sometimes, but figuring it out as they go. No perfect parents here, just real stories, open and honest conversations, and things that we don't really get warned about. Today, I'm joined by Sophie. She is a mother of two beautiful children, Marley and Callie. Both children have been diagnosed with autism. We sit down and we talk about her journey of becoming a mum and just the challenges, but the wonderful things about being a parent to neurodivergent children. Hope you enjoy. Sophie, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. This is amazing.
Thanks, babe. It's a pretty cool place, isn't it?
I love it.
So I've asked you to come on this podcast because you share a lot on social media about your life as a mother of two kids of neurodivergent.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your journey. Let's go to the beginning.
Yeah.
I know we've not got loads and loads of time. But the beginning of becoming a mum. Like, what was your journey to becoming a mum to Callie first, right?
Yes.
And then you've got Marley. So
yes.
Introduce us to your life.
Hi, guys. Hi, Alice. It is honestly amazing here. Thank you so much.
Babe.
I think I should actually just add that I've had 3 hours sleep, just to let you know.
Well, you look bloody wonderful, babe.
Well, you know, normally, as you mentioned, I have got 2 neurodivergent children. One has never been a sleeper because that's quite typical with neurodivergent children. Right. And my son, Marley, is a 13-hour a night. Like, I personally...
13 hours
Yeah,
a night?
like I rub it in people's faces on social media because...
you should.
I'm 7 years in of not having a child that sleeps. So when I have got one that does sleep, I'm like, oh, I'm going to let everyone know about it.
Yeah.
That child, Marley, decided to wake up at 10:30 at night. Fine, I can deal with that. I'm watching TV downstairs. Growing pains in the leg. Not a vibe. Very, very uncomfortable. And decided it was time for the day.
Just a party.
Yeah. So we were up genuinely till 4:30 a.m.
Shit the bed.
We're here now at what, 9:30, 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
And it took me an hour to get here.
Yeah.
So, you know, just saying.
Yeah, well...
Mum life.
We appreciate you massively.
And I appreciate being here.
Yeah, but that's mental. So when he
Yeah.
wakes up, you said he's got growing pains. Is he unhappy? Like, is he...
Horrendous.
Right.
Like, possessed, night terror-y. He's going through a lot of medical trauma as well at the moment because he's been going through some gut health issues. I think it's a combination of everything. I'm assuming it's growing pains. Who knows as a parent? You don't get a manual.
No.
But he was holding his leg, so I'm assuming we're going to go with growing pains.
And what do you do? Massage it?
He asked for Calpol, then he wouldn't take the Calpol. Then I held his leg, and then I said to him, I think it might be growing pains. So then he's going all around the house, I've got growing pains. I was like, oh, babe.
And he likes a chat, doesn't he?
He loves a chat and he loves attention. So when I told him he's got growing pains, it was really, really fun.
Oh.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And then obviously I screamed at my husband in the night and we hated each other because, you know, why am I dealing with this? And he's like, but I'm dealing with Callie and that's parenting, isn't it?
And you just don't get it right. In the middle of the night, I feel like no one can win.
No one can win.
Because when you and your husband are like, you know, downtime, chilling out, and when you have something like against the norm, like you say, Marley is a sleeper, you're so used to it, aren't you? You're so used to getting that. And if Callie comes out, that's your normal. No,
that's our normal.
Callie's awake, that's whatever. Yeah. And then Marley's woken up and it's like, shit. What are we going to do?
Literally.
And you just want someone to take the situation away from you so you can chill out.
And because I know that I've got a busy day, whereas I know I've learned with Callie 7 years in and having a diagnosis before her 3rd birthday, how to manage her, how to deal with her sleep, I know what she needs throughout the night. I don't with Marley.
No.
So anyway, back to your question. Just thought I'd let everyone know.
Yeah, no.
So if we're pandering with the eyes, that's why.
Yeah.
So I became a mum 7 years ago in a couple of weeks' time. I cannot believe I've got a nearly 7-year-old. That is crazy. Hi, I'm a mum and I've got a 7-year-old.
I know. I feel like, because I'm the same.
Yeah.
Phoebe's 7 in August.
Yes.
And I feel like when they're 7, because they're going to be going into year 3.
Yes.
Like, it's a big deal.
Massive.
Right, so 7 years ago.
7 years ago, had this beautiful little girl who I thought was a boy, because I never found out the sex. And the birth was traumatic because you know, you can't do things in small doses here. Was in labour for 3 days, pushed for 5 hours. The new midwife nurse who started her job 1 week ago kept saying that she could see the head. Anyway, when a senior midwife came in to let me know why the baby's not coming out. Callie was transverse and her head was all the way basically by my hip.
What's transverse? She's
lying
like
across.
Right.
So the head was all the way down my side, like to the side of me, her head.
Right.
So there was no baby. I don't know what she saw down there, but it was not a baby's head. So anyway, in the end, I was in every different position. I was up in the sky. They put my hospital bed, literally, I was horizontal trying to get her out. She didn't want to come out. She was always so well and healthy throughout all of it.
Yeah.
Ended with emergency C-section. Then I had all the dealings with that. I was actually in the C-section room for 4 hours. You're normally in and out in 45 minutes.
Yeah, you are.
Because I had a lot of issues going on. But she was always fine.
Because you had been in labour for so long and because your body was in trauma? Like,
I actually didn't know I was riddled with endometriosis. Right. So 3 of my organs were actually stuck together. So
Same,
Callie...
hun.
Babe!
Yeah, it's fucking horrible, isn't it? Yeah.
But the mad thing
But you didn't know you had it?
No.
Oh, I really knew I had it.
Well, I knew I had something because
Yeah.
the pain, I was off school every single month for 3 days.
Yeah.
But every gynecologist I saw said, you're a woman.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So they never ever mentioned endometriosis.
That's a whole other podcast we could talk about that.
Oh, we absolutely can.
Okay, so your organs were stuck together.
So she couldn't come out.
Oh.
So they had to unstick everything, which then caused an amputation of my bladder.
Oh, wow.
Now, if anyone is listening, this is incredibly rare and please don't let it freak you out.
No. And actually, this is why I love chatting to mums about when you're so open and you share so much of your life. And I think there'll be someone at home listening to this thinking, I've had the same fucking thing.
Same.
And yes, this isn't normal. Anyone that is pregnant,
please don't let it freak you out.
Don't let it freak you out. But I think honest conversations about being a woman and like you not knowing that you had this and being told that everything is all right, and then having that trauma of being in labour for ages and them thinking that they could see ahead, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then you have an emergency C-section.
Yeah.
And then finding out that's huge.
It was
so you carry
so
on
traumatic.
And I think it's good.
Like in recovery, my whole body swelled up. I blew up. I was unrecognisable. And I remember my mother-in-law saying, oh my goodness, like not to scare me, are you okay? Like I was really, really unwell to the point where they said that I would have a catheter for the rest of my life.
Right.
And I was never going to be able to pass urine myself.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm all sorted. She's good. She's
Yeah,
fine. I never took it any further. Ultimately, it was all down to Callie being healthy, and she was.
Cool,
and the reason I'm telling you all of this is because whenever you see a GP or a health visitor or a paediatrician, anything to do with neurodiversity, and the first thing they ask you is, how was your birth? And I find that very interesting.
Yeah.
And interestingly, again, I don't want this to freak people out, and it's not saying that your child will be, but I've spoken to a lot of mums that are have children with neurodiversity, and their babies were also transverse.
How interesting.
Jade's my podcast wife, Bailey Bow, is autistic as well, and she also was transverse. Who knows?
So do you know any research into what?
No. But it's just all interesting. It's interesting
really,
why they ask about the birth and things like that.
Well, it's how you enter into the world, and if there was any trauma, I think, from like how your body was feeling, like your body and the stress, and that's the huge thing in pregnancy and in life in general, stress and how your body's coping with that. Yeah, absolutely. Of course, it's going to have something to do with it. Obviously, 100%. It's not the cause of a child being neurodiverse.
No, of course, but it's all factors.
Yeah, of course.
Another factor was, I have briefly touched about this, but open book.
You are.
I had a really bad traumatic episode when I was 6 months pregnant with my husband. Found out a lot of stuff in regards to addiction, and that took a massive toll on our relationship to the point I would then be actually raising a baby on my own.
Right.
So there was a lot of marital issues. Again, was that a massive factor as to why Callie is now autistic? Because of my body reacting to shock.
Shock and stress and everything.
Who knows? However, I'm now a mum of 2 and both are autistic.
Yeah.
And my pregnancy with Marley was great. We adore Callie. We kind of accepted that she had an autism diagnosis. And I had a planned C-section. So again, I'm thinking all these things.
So much better planned C-sections.
I was so traumatized by the first that even though it was much better having a plan.
Just chilled.
I had so much PTSD from the first that, everything that was happening, I'm just never going to do it again.
No,
I'm done.
We're done.
I'm done.
So let's just go back to Callie.
Yeah.
So Callie arrives, all the trauma that you've had, but Callie's healthy.
Yeah.
You go home with your baby and, everything. So newborn stage, what you thought it was going to be?
Oh, stunning.
Yeah, it's
like
so lovely.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
The most amazing teamwork with my husband. I mean, he wanted to change the nappies all day and all night, and I was like, crack on, babe.
Crack on.
Marley came, he was like, nah, I'm done. I breastfed completely until she was 11 months. I know, freak.
No, that's fucking
it's
brilliant.
Amazing.
I love that you did that.
But like, I couldn't do that with Marley.
No.
I guess I hadn't already had an autistic child, and he just didn't have.
Yeah.
He wasn't. I couldn't do it. But it's all that I knew.
Yeah.
And everything was cushy. I mean, I was a milking cow. I was either having a pump on my breast or I was feeding her. She was on me all day and all night.
I love that.
But the first 4 months, she slept like an angel.
Right.
And I literally used to say to people,
you were one of those
mums.
This
is easy.
That everyone's like, fuck's sake.
Honestly, this is easy. She sleeps. She wakes up for a bit of milk. She goes back to sleep. Josh would go to work at 7:30 in the morning. We would still be asleep. Cushy.
Stop.
Yeah.
I mean, good for you. I'm glad you had that.
For 4 months.
But I would have been like, for 4 months.
For 4 months.
But you had it for 4 months.
I had it for 4 months.
So, Callie, 4 months, then what? Like, fast forward me to, I don't know, let's go to the 18 months stage.
Okay.
So she was verbal. She
Yeah.
was doing hitting the milestones.
All the milestones, as far as I was aware.
Yeah,
Obviously,
your
you
first
get
baby.
no manual
Nope.
about learning how to parent a child.
Yeah.
We went into lockdown when she was 9 months old, but she was standing on her feet then. She started walking on her first birthday. So all the milestones, as far as I was aware, she was hitting. She was incredibly engaged with toys, like loved toys, and her very, very much go-to, which saved our lives because from 4 months we never slept a day in our life again. She was obsessed with TV.
Right.
Again, amazing in my head. No, she needed the TV, but I didn't know that then. It was a complete regulation for her. Coco Melon, when I tell you I know every single song, every episode, I know what's coming next. If I hear it now, it does give me a bit of trauma. But it was a massive regulation tool for us that we didn't know that we needed. But we got to the point where she was obsessed with books and would know, again, what was coming next. And by 9, 10, 11 months, she was counting to 3. She was doing wind the bobbin up. She was clapping her hands. She was doing all the... Again, I rubbed it in people's faces, as in to my mum and dad, like, this girl is a genius. She can count. She's got, everything. Fast forward to 18 months. Regression.
Yeah.
And not every child has this.
Soph, at this point, did you look at Callie beside other people and ever think like, oh, there's something a bit different to Callie? No, there was nothing.
Okay, that's wrong. I would always have to make excuses. She's really tired today.
Yeah.
So behaviour's a bit funny. Oh, she's really crying. Yeah, I think she's hungry. Or when we're weaning or when we're going out for lunch with people, I would bring everything. She was always has been an excellent eater. But she would always have to have like an Ella's puff before she ate her food.
Right.
I don't know if she needed the crunch. I don't know whether she needed a familiar safe food. But I always had to have them with me before she would eat tuna pasta or fish cakes or whatever I made. There was little niggles, but again, it was just kind of like, this is who she is, and I know her, and we're just cracking on.
And also, it's the first time you and Josh are parents, so you kind of just think, well, this is just our norm.
Totally.
And you don't know, and we don't know what goes on behind other people's doors. So you kind of just think, well, this is what I do. I give her a puff before she eats her... Give her a puff, it's like
I know.
She's having a fag before she has her dinner. No, like having her crispy things before she eats. It's just your norm.
Yeah, it was just normal.
And I just think that's, Okay, so... Take me to the regression. Talk to us about that.
Regression's like a real tough one, and people experience regression in very many different ways. There's been many people that I've spoken to that their child would literally wake up one morning and be a completely different child.
Okay.
So they would lose all their speech, their eye contact. They would basically just like, they would be removed from who they actually were. It wasn't them as such. Callie's was more of a slower regression. We just kept noticing things after a few days and a few weeks. Oh, she's not saying that anymore. Oh, she's not saying bath or bubbles or clapping her hands anymore. It wasn't like a click and we're like, what the hell's happened? We need to take her straight to the hospital. There's something not right. It was just over a period of time. She lost everything. She lost all her speech. She lost all her actions to songs. She lost her interest in toys. She lost interest in TV, interest in food. Everything had changed, and it was so bizarre.
Bizarre and also scary.
So scary.
Really scary. And also, do you get answers straight away? Like
You get nothing.
Yeah. So you've got hair on your face. And
But also, like, thank you.
You're welcome.
Also, as I said before, I didn't know what autism was.
No.
I knew one boy at school that had autism, and he was just kind of always had a teacher with him, and he was always just a little bit quiet. Like, it didn't even spring to my mind at all. It didn't, I wouldn't even, I had no idea. And
so
I was
did you think she was ill? Did you think like...
Just, I know it sounds really odd.
Again, your first
just
child.
Cracked on.
Yeah,
like,
right.
And then I remember we came out of lockdown, when you're allowed to go to one parent, like another person's house. So I went to my parents. Mm-hmm. And my dad said, I keep calling Callie's name and she's not answering to me. Watch. Callie. And she would just be playing with the toy kitchen.
Right.
I was like, Dad, leave her alone. She's playing. Like, she's busy. She's concentrating. Whatever. So I went to go and see a paediatrician because my mum advised me to, and my sister-in-law advised me to, because she grew up looking after autistic children. Okay. But no one ever told me. And if they did, I would have probably retaliated incredibly wrong. Mm-hmm. How dare you? There's nothing wrong with my child. Mm-hmm. So everyone was this is when people learn about me, I'm a very open book, but I'm also very closed and I'm very, very sensitive. So if someone said something, I would take it really the wrong way. Yeah. So no one said anything apart from, maybe you should go and see the doctor. So we had a family friend doctor that works at the Portland Hospital. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows this doctor, as in, like, everyone wishes they could see this doctor. He's an incredible man. Mm-hmm. And I've always known him as my mum and dad's friend. And whenever I'd see him, I'd be like, hey, Sophie, and give me a kiss and a cuddle, hello. And I remember going to the Portland on my own because it was lockdown. There was only one parent. And I opened the door and I'm with her and she's in the buggy. And he goes, hello, sit down, please. Like, he was in full-on doctor mode.
Really
and I was
clinical.
Like, hey.
Yeah.
He was like, how can I help you? And I was like, well, I don't really know why I'm here. But this is what's happened. And Callie's not really using her words anymore and blah, 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 blah. He said, okay, well, we're going to give her a hearing test. And that's our first indication as to whether she's got glue ear or something, maybe if she's not answering to her name, maybe she can't hear properly. Whatever. Came and did the hearing test. This girl, love her so much, gives me trauma thinking about it, did not turn around to one noise that these two nurses were doing. They would make these high-pitched noises. They would press all these buttons. She would just be playing with this toy in her own entire world. So when they came out and told me, weirdly, even though she wasn't reacting to the noises, there is nothing wrong with this girl's ears. I remember, it actually makes me sad every time I talk about it, just going straight back into his room. And he was so unnurturing towards me, even though he's a family friend. And I was like, she can hear. And he said, okay.
All right.
Yep. And he said, the first thing we need to do is get her into nursery and get her into intervention because she needs to be around people. She needs to be around typical behaviours of life and just not be in her own little bubble. And that's exactly what we did. From about 2, she went to, from about maybe 20 months, she went to a childminder. And I remember the childminder saying to me, oh my God, this one of the people that worked there, she went, this is so funny. Listen to this. Callie. She's not even answering to me. How bizarre. And I was like, okay, just hold it together. We're cool. We're cool. Yeah. And then I was like, oh my God, that's when I think it really hit me. Right. Maybe something isn't right. She did really well there. It was down the road from my parents' house, the house that I grew up in. It was literally 3 doors down. I went to the same childminder as Callie went to, which was just nuts in itself. Really and she was adored there and she adored going there. And Callie's always the type of child who is autistic and still is, that she is an underwhelmed autistic child. So a building could collapse in front of her and she would have no idea that it's collapsed. Okay. If there's loud noises, she's not holding her ears. She's not putting her fingers in her ears. She's thriving with the noise. Yeah. She doesn't care about the noise. Yeah. So she loved being with other children.
Is that because she can hyper-focus on what she's doing and what she's interested in?
Perhaps.
And then the exterior just doesn't bother her?
Perhaps.
Wow.
I don't fully understand or know, but ultimately having a child that is underwhelmed is easier. Yeah. I could be in normal environments. I could go to a supermarket. I go to a shopping mall and she could just enjoy all the lights and enjoy the atmosphere. Whereas I know it could be really difficult for other children that cannot leave their home.
Typically with loud noises.
Because it's so overwhelming.
Stimulating. Yeah.
So she went there and she was thriving. No words, no actions, just happy. And that's all we could ask for. And then she went to a proper nursery, and it was amazing. It was the best intervention I could ever experience. And she left nursery just before her 4th birthday. She couldn't hold a pen still. She had 1 word, but not in context. So if you said ball, if she could be holding a cube and would call it a ball,
right.
like couldn't make any words in context. But she was happy, as I keep saying, and that's all we ever wanted. And then she started school, and I was so nervous because we decided to go down the mainstream route. Whether that's wrong or right, it worked for us.
What were you advised to do? Were you taking advice from anyone, paediatricians, teachers, family?
There's not a lot of advice.
No, they don't say, I think she'd be suited better to this kind of setting.
Yeah, they can do, but ultimately it comes down to the local authority, which is a whole other story in itself anyway. And you can't just say, you know what, Callie needs to go to a SEND school, so she's going to go there in September. It doesn't work like that. You need the EHCP, you need many meetings. Anyway, we had a transition from the autism team that transitioned Callie from nursery to school. 2 different boroughs, but they worked well together, and they transitioned her in well. She was very loved, and she still is. You know, when there's just one child, and obviously I can say it because it's my own, that people just love. Yeah. That she's got an amazing energy. She's got a great connection.
You know, when she's in the room, and she's great.
All the kids wanted to play with her. People were saying to me, she was in reception, can Callie come to our house? I was like, what? People want her to come round and have a play day with her. And she loved and still loves school. She runs into that school every single day with a smile and leaves with a smile. That's
all we want, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. I'm very lucky like that. By the time she finished reception, she was putting 3 to 4 words together.
Brilliant.
The girl was nonverbal.
Yeah.
She was nonverbal when she started reception.
Yeah.
The best intervention. And who knows whether she was always going to do that, or whether school helped, or whether speech therapy helped. But I have a verbal child. And
that is insane.
Insane.
And insanely brilliant. And it's also, I think there's a lot to be said for children, no matter what their journey is, of just feeling comfortable and having the right people at the right time. So it sounds like this school is brilliant for her.
Yeah.
And also her peers, and just like, you can't choose it. You don't, you have to kind of take a risk when you put your kids into these schools.
Totally.
But you've lucked out.
I have.
You've
and I know
out.
Not many people do.
No, but brilliant that she has
I think
that.
I am lucky, and I really do believe, I think her school genuinely is an amazing school, especially for SEN. I also do believe that some families not get better service or treatment, but if you're liked and you respect the school and you don't hound them and you trust them, they're going to work with you better.
Yeah. It's communication with parents. This episode is sponsored by Ivory Security Limited. They specialise in intruder alarms, fire alarms, CCTV and gate automation, keeping our families safe. Their total security management service is customised to meet your needs. And that's what it's all about. Making sure that you are concentrating on what really matters, connecting with your family at home, you're safe, you can chill out, knowing that Ivory Security have got your back. A huge thank you to Ivory Security for sponsoring this episode. I am so grateful. Thank you very much. With my old job of being a primary school teacher and now life coach for kids, I've seen so many. I'm on the parent side, I'm on the teacher side. I've seen it from different areas, and it's just all about communication.
100%.
And we were saying before we started chatting of when I was a teacher, I've had children in my class with ADHD, ASD, PDA when I didn't even know PDA was a thing, and I didn't get any training as a teacher for that. So I had to welcome children into my class who had SEN or additional needs in whatever shape or form. And I had to figure that out for myself, but I wanted to figure that out. And it sounds like Callie's got that, but also you're very good at communicating, and you're very good at saying that this is what it is and this is where we're at, and we've got to work together.
I mean, I genuinely do leave it to the school. Yeah. And, there'll be so many people being like, oh, does Callie do this other sort of intervention at school? Or is Callie doing this? And I say, I've got no idea. But I am a true believer, I hope I am, that I'm just putting it in their hands, and she's coming out happy, and I trust them, and she's thriving academically, and she's doing well. So why change? Why change it?
And she's happy.
She's happy. So
that's a flipping great journey.
I hope it shares a lot of hope for people.
It's a beautiful story, but heavy, like really heavy. And just if you I just think of you, like you and Josh having a baby, it all going 4 months, yay, great, she sleeps, I'm great, he's going to work, and we're still all of that. Then, you know, just hitting all the milestones, and then the regression, and not knowing at that stage. That's the bit that I'm feeling for you, is that at that stage, like, you've carried on going because you have to, there's no other option, but also just the uncertainty.
That's the worst part.
And that sat with me, the quote that you just said about the person at the, look how funny this is, I'll call her name, and I want to go and get that woman.
I know.
I find that mental.
But it's because she's uneducated, even though she works in a nursery setting, and that's concerning.
Yeah, it's not funny. It's not I don't find that funny.
No.
And it's not going to be hurting. It wouldn't have hurt Callie. She probably won't remember it, and and didn't know what was going on at the time, probably. But for you, you hold that.
Yes.
And even you talking about your situation there of being in the hospital, like, that still hurts.
Oh, it cries me. Every time I say it, it makes me cry.
Makes you cry,
it's just, it's not a journey I ever imagined having, truthfully.
No.
And now we're seeing good and bad things. Like, yes, I've shared loads of hope, but now I've really started to notice friendships.
Yeah.
In not a great way.
Okay.
At first, in reception in year 1, everyone wanted to have a play date with Callie. When I tell you everyone, girls, boys, everyone wanted to play with her. And she's at the point where I remember once, I've got a little outhouse like this in my old home, and I had a camera down there, and I quickly ran to the kitchen because obviously I'd never leave Callie on my own. She had 2 friends over, and they didn't do it in any sort of way, but in a mean way, because they're just young children.
Yeah.
And Callie was playing with her toys, and they were going, Callie, Callie, and she didn't answer her name. And one of them kept saying, Callie, Callie, Callie. And the other one says, she always does this. She never, ever answers to her name. So there's me storming right back down and just calmly, but, being in protective mode, just saying, even if Callie doesn't want to answer her name, it's not because she doesn't want to play with you. Maybe she might find that difficult to do. And I'm trying to teach them, and I'm thinking, who am I kidding? They're 5 years old, but whatever. You are always on high alert wherever you are when you're raising a SEND child. You are so massively overprotective. I look at other parents. I went to this big inflatable thing last weekend. I saw a couple of girls that I knew there. They're sitting on the floor on a picnic blanket while their kids are running around jumping. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to be one of those mums that just sits there and doesn't have my eyes 24/7 on my children. And it's just learning to accept that that's just not my norm. And it hurts. And there's a bit of jealousy there because I just want a break and a bit of respite. Yeah. And I won't be able to have that for now. But I'm learning now that the friendship group is a lot smaller.
Yeah.
We've invited the whole year to Callie's birthday party, sharing it with 2 other girls. So I'm not saying it's all Callie by any means, but again, I'm just being that protective mum. There's 64 members in the group chat when you send the invitation, as in it's a 2-form entry school.
Right, okay.
We've had 21 responses out of 60. And I'm not saying, it's because it's Callie's party, they're not going to want to come. I'm just that type of parent that's very mindful whether my child can come or not. I will just respond.
Yeah.
So I'm personally now thinking, as a personal attack, well, there's 43 of you that are not responding to my kid's party. Like,
if she sent you a message, can you please respond?
Please, just respond. Like, it's not a big deal. But I take things so personally.
Of course you do.
And that's where we are at the moment when it comes to that side of things. But overall, she's magical. That girl is magical.
I love it.
She's amazing. She's kind. And I genuinely wish the absolute well for her. Like, obviously, she's my child, but I really do.
Oh, well done. I love that you've just shared that story.
Thanks.
Thank you. Right, so we've done Callie.
We've done Callie.
Molly!
Oh, God. Where do we start with this little boy?
What's the age gap?
2 years, 4 months.
Right, okay.
He is... Okay, put it this way.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
That.
There we are.
He did. Yeah. When he came out of my tummy... He had this cry that they said they've never heard a child cry like that before.
Oh,
the loudest screech they have ever heard. Immediately, while I was passed out on the table, in my head, he's autistic.
Really?
The loudest screech.
What, from that early, you were like...
The fact that they had to comment on a baby's cry, saying, about 5-6 of them saying, oh my goodness, we've never heard a noise like it before. I was like, well, cool, like...
Thank you.
Done. You've diagnosed my kid for me.
Yeah.
Dramatic, I know. Okay, Marley, beautiful baby.
Your kids are stunning.
Obviously.
Well, look at you, babe.
He was, thank you.
You're
not
welcome.
He was this most tanned, beautiful angel baby, to the point where we were in lockdown and Josh said, this is not my child. He looks like he's a little Mexican baby, like so tanned. It's very much Josh's, guys. He didn't like breastfeeding.
Right.
That's all I knew.
Yeah, it's
a bit
funny.
weird.
Yeah.
So we combination fed until I was like, get off. Like he could never latch on well. He was erratic and chaotic from the beginning. He was not a chill baby.
No.
For the first 8 weeks, no one judged me, especially sleep consultants. He slept on top of me for 8 weeks. He would not be put down.
Mate. You've got to do what works for you.
He would not go in his own bassinet, even in the hospital. The only baby that cried in the ward was my baby all night. He wanted to be on top of mummy.
Yeah.
He can still be on with mummy now.
I love it.
My baby.
I think because I don't have boys, I just have girls, but my twins just got boys. The relationship between a mother and a son is just...
It's next level gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
All of it's gorgeous, but just
100%,
that is gorgeous.
100%.
So he slept on you.
He slept on me, but then he once he was in his cot, he slept. He from a very young age was headbanging in his cot. Josh headbangs.
Right.
Josh's cousin headbangs. Josh's dad headbangs, all to go to sleep. It's like a regulation. Right. On the mattress, bang, bang, bang. Yes, Josh is not allowed to headbang in front of me. Talk away.
To me about Josh headbanging.
He headbangs.
Like how?
Sorry, Josh, if you hear this.
Sorry, Josh, but I need to know.
He always
Rocks,
has no
or like bangs into
lying on his tummy.
Right.
Pillow.
Yeah.
Banging into the pillow.
Right.
Bang.
Okay.
Bang.
Okay.
Bang in a rhythm. Gets him to sleep.
To a point where he falls asleep.
Yes.
Banging. That's really interesting.
Very.
Because sorry to interrupt the story of lovely Marley, but one of my best mates, she's got 4 boys, and her third boy would do that, like in the cot, bang, bang, bang. He's been diagnosed autistic.
There you go.
And would walk on his knees, and he's a beautiful boy, but he would do that, and her husband, the dad, were just like, oh, it's just what he does. I'd
100%.
never known anything, but it was like to listen to, like, whoa.
It looks like it's something from a scary movie, almost like The Exorcism. Yeah. Marley will still do it to this day.
It's regulation, right?
To the point now, it was the sweetest thing, and it made me change my whole perspective of headbanging. He was in the car. I opened the car door to get him out, and he said, "Mummy." So I said, "Yeah." He said, "Headbanging actually makes me sad. Headbanging makes me feel really comfortable."
Oh.
And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, good.
Like, wow, that
you
he's able to verbalise that to me.
What a clever boy.
And, okay, you can do it. And we said, we're going to watch a movie tonight. We've never watched movies, by the way, lol. When I say that, we have a bit of popcorn and then they're jumping
movie
off the
night
walls.
for 5 seconds.
Yes. Never been to the cinema before. But, we'll get there one day. And he said to me, I said, should we watch Matilda? Because he's got obsessed with Matilda, which is great because it's my favourite movie in the whole world.
The old one or the new one?
Old one.
Yeah,
like
good.
Classic. Bruce Bogtrotter.
Yes.
And he was like, can I bang my head while we're watching? And I was like, okay. If that's what you need to do, fine. Anyway, so he headbanged from very young.
Yeah.
He then would arch into a U from 6 months old in like rage.
Right.
Rage. Backwards. I couldn't. He was like a stiff. You couldn't bend him back.
Yeah. You're thinking reflux. He's got something wrong with
There you go.
Okay.
Reflux. So I speak to the paediatrician, the gastro.
Yeah.
Hi, gastro doctor. I know you've seen Callie for many years and you've given her lansoprazole and all this because she's got reflux. She never did. She also did the same sort of thing. He said to me outright at 6 months old, this boy does not have reflux. So I was like, cool, thank you again for diagnosing my child. I know. And he said, I'm not saying that, and he's very young, but I'm telling you it's not reflux. I'm not giving him any omeprazole or lansoprazole. Okay. Mm-hmm. From there, all I can say is whoever meets him, whether it's people that know him or someone in public, always has a comment. Not a bad comment. Oh my God, he's hilarious. Oh, he's so funny. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Like they're always something. Like he just stands out.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, not in a negative way. He just stands
Got a presence.
out.
Yep,
Totally.
yep.
And he's got a great presence. I mean, both my kids, again, without me, like, you know, being big-headed, they've got great
big-headed. It's great.
They've got
Do
great
it.
personalities. They
Yeah.
do. Marley is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Hit all his milestones.
Yep.
Very verbal.
Yep.
Every single morning, I could never enjoy him growing up, because every single morning I would go into his room and touch him and make sure he hasn't had a regression. And I'd make him look me in the eye and I'd make him point. Not make like point, but I would see if he was pointing. I'd see whether he would make eye contact. Now, interestingly, he's never pointed with this finger. What's this finger called? Index?
Index finger, yeah.
He points with his middle finger. Always has.
Okay.
And weirdly, when he recently got his diagnosis, they said it's very, very common for autistic children to point with their middle finger.
Oh.
Which I had no idea.
Every day's a school day.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
And that at that point of your life of being a mother of two, that's like exhausting, like checking for something to go wrong,
So draining.
checking to see if Marley's doing it while still Callie's 2.5.
Yeah.
And you've got this newborn and well, she would be 3.5
Yeah.
now at this point, that
Yeah.
you'd be checking that he can point and checking that he can follow you and whatever it may be that you were doing. That's exhausting.
It was so exhausting,
Yeah.
and wasn't able to enjoy him as much as I should. And it gives me such guilt, and it pains me. And it's advice that I want to share to anyone else that's listening. Please enjoy your child as much as you
Yeah,
can, because
yeah.
he's so enjoyable.
Yeah.
He's so bloody hard work at the
Yeah,
same time. I just knew. I didn't need a label, but I just knew. But it was weird because he was presented so differently to Callie, as I said. Pointing, eye contact, verbal, social, everything that any paediatrician would look out for. So I actually, again, any advice if anyone is having concerns about their child, you can contact your health visitor at any time.
Yep.
You do not need to wait for your 2-year, 4-month check to start any sort of developmental progress. So at 20 months, I contacted the health visitor and I said, please come and check him out.
Yeah, yeah.
And he failed dramatically on his test, more than Callie. And even though she couldn't do anything, he could do everything. But the behaviour side, the social side, even though he is social, it's not that type of social. He failed a lot, and we started the ASD process from there. 3.5 years later, he got his diagnosis a couple of weeks ago.
And I've just listened to yours and the Lovely Jade's podcast. We're Not Your Typical. It's incredible. If you don't listen to it, you need to.
Obviously Alice's one's on there as well, so please check it out.
You know. And it's when you two are just sitting down, and Jade's had a really emotional, horrible start to her day, and it's really raw.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. The way you both talk about, and you at this point, I think it was April that you had your diagnosis for Marley, sorry. The way you talk about it, and the way you talk about being a parent to neurodivergent children, and the quote that stayed with me was, "You'll never know what it's like to parent a neurotypical child."
Yeah.
But I think, and I'm not saying that you say it's all roses and butterflies and fucking unicorns all the time, but the stuff that you share on your social and on your podcast, I think is so bloody helpful, not just for people that are walking the same walk as you and getting a diagnosis and fighting for the right school and fighting for this and fighting people in, you know, the clinical world, whatever it may be, and the upset and the and the scary side to things of trauma and whatever. I think what you do is so incredible for everybody. Like, I've learned so much from you and Jade, because, like I said, as a teacher, I had to take on different children in my class and not really know what's going on. And now in my job of a life coach for children, I work primarily with neurodivergent families because they need the help with understanding emotions. Correct. Because they feel misunderstood in mainstream or misunderstood in social settings. Yeah. And the more we can do this kind of chat and people listening to educate themselves and educate their families and educate the older generation on things not to say and things to ask, so that people don't feel, I don't even like the neurodivergent, I don't even like being called neurodivergent. I don't like it.
Like a label's just not cool anyway.
Yeah, like it just needs to be just a conversation about, we're just all humans.
Sure.
And we're all, as parents, we're all doing the best we can do. And just be kind to one another.
Just accept and not judge. I think that's the best way.
And I would meet you out and I would not have a clue if we didn't know each other that you had this story behind you. I wouldn't know that you would have gone through XYZ if you hadn't told me.
Yeah.
Because we just all crack on.
Exactly.
And everyone's having a shit day or no sleep. Or if someone does, like if a child, Daisy, my youngest, is so loud, so proud. Phoebe is very similar to that, but is a little bit more reserved than her. When we're out in Morrison's, Waitrose, whatever it may be, I just let them be loud. Let them be loud and I let people look. But the old me, I would have massively been worrying about what people would have thought. So I just think
it's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Just
because
be kind.
actually we went to Home Bargains yesterday. I went with my mum and there was these two children, bless them, huge meltdowns, tantrums.
Yeah.
They want a toy.
Yeah.
Parents have walked away and I was like, you know what? I don't blame you. Like the
Let
amount
them
of
do it.
embarrassment, everyone is staring. I purposely did not even look because I know that feeling.
Oh, yeah.
And I heard the mum say to her husband or her partner, we need to get out. Like everyone's staring at us. It's so embarrassing. And I just wish it didn't have to be like that. Every child makes noises. Every child has meltdowns. Every child has their moments. Even yesterday we went to the park. Callie is doing her quirky movements and her noises and screaming. And this dad is staring at her. And I wanted to be like, mate,
what's the matter?
Go away.
Yeah.
You're here with your two kids as if they've not made those noises before.
Yeah.
But this is why, as you said, we have to, as people and with our jobs and what we do, keep educating, keep sharing.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to like what they see on social media.
No.
Not everyone's going to like what we post.
No.
But if we can even let one or two people learn and educate
and
from
feel
what we're
seen
doing,
and heard, and that's what you do so well.
100%, then I will keep going.
Yay, please do.
I will.
Right. One last question,
Go on.
because this has just been gorgeous, and I'm so grateful
It's
that you're
been
here.
lovely.
So we're called the Not That Parenting Podcast.
Yes.
I'm asking every guest, when has there been a moment where you've realised you're not that parent? Did you think you were going to be a type of parent and then you've done something that you didn't think, or a moment in your life?
I mean, there's an unlimited list, but one just literally springs to mind. And I think this is one because I saw a comment yesterday on one of my posts about it. Screen time.
Yes.
I know it's not for everyone. And don't get me wrong, there will be many times where I have banned screen time. But I promise you, and I didn't mention this before, Callie's knowledge is from screen time.
Yeah.
Her ABCs, her maths, her feelings, I swear to you, is all from these annoying programs.
Yeah.
And I will have that screen. I will allow that screen. Yes, I understand there needs to be moderation and things like that, but for some children, there isn't any moderation. If they need that screen all day and all night, then they need that screen all day and night. 100%. It's regulation, just like Marley with his head banging.
Yeah.
So it's that's what I would say. And just for everyone to stop judging people.
Yeah, don't judge.
Stop it.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So lovely.
Yay. Thanks, babe.
Oh, so easy.